Patience. Hey everybody, welcome to Born Without Boundaries Live. Let me back this up a little bit so that you can see a little bit more of the space. Is that enough? Yeah, hold on. I know, I should have all this taken care of before I go live, right? I know, I apologize for that. Oh my God, notifications, turn them off. That's why notifications are supposed to be off. So welcome to Born Without Boundaries Live. This is our my full moon in Virgo reading. This is an intuitive reading. It's not a horoscope reading. It's not, I will talk a little bit about the astrology that's going on, but I'm only studying astrology, so really consult the experts for that kind of advice. But I will be doing a oracle card intuitive reading. I've already pre-shuffled and meditated on the cards, so everything's ready to go. I'll be keeping timestamps. Yes, you'll see me writing them down, so that as soon as I go off live, I can, hold on. Yeah, as soon as I go off live, I can write down, I can provide you guys with the timestamps. So let's talk about the full moon in Virgo and what kind of energy that's teaching us, maybe challenging us with, but what kind of energy it's giving to us. So Virgo energy in the full moon is helping us sort through emotionally what emotions, 11111, I love you angels. So is helping us sort through our emotions to see what is purposeful and what needs to go. It's actually a really wonderful energy, though there can be nuances of being too stringent or being too judgmental on yourself. And you don't want to do that either. You want to, in other words, you definitely want to separate the necessary from the not necessary. Like, let's use that energy most positively. And that's what the Virgo full moon can really help us do. But beyond that, there is a sense that sometimes we can try to organize too much and we can try to dictate too much. And especially with emotions, sometimes you just have to trust them and believe in them and let yourself feel them as opposed to try to control them, because it's attempting to control emotions that we end up suppressing the emotions and not allowing ourselves to feel. And it's not allowing ourselves to feel that can lead to bitterness and destructive behavior, especially implosion and like internal destructive behavior. So this is a wonderful, hey, wow, thank you so much for that. That's really beautiful. Thank you for that beautiful energy straight out of the gate. I appreciate it so much. Hi guys, so I'm far away and I can't really necessarily put you guys on as moderators, but thank you so much for volunteering, and I will definitely go back and do that. Because we don't want trolls to interrupt our business, but at the same time, you know what? Let's not let the trolls interrupt our business. We know who to listen to and who to not listen to too, right? But to believe me when I say I will get you guys on there as moderators. I appreciate Jackie and I appreciate all you guys volunteering. Really do appreciate it. Thank you, Jackie. Hi, Amber. So we're gonna get it right into the reading. Like I said, I'm already writing down all this information. Like I'm already gonna like prepare to write down the time stamps. So let's just prepare ourselves, because this full moon can really make us like, we could feel like a hypochondriac. We can worry too much about like be too quick to believe things that are bad and worry about them, as opposed to thinking, are they real and do they really need my attention? And so the wonderful aspects of this full moon that we could use to our advantage is saying, hey, do I really have to worry about this? Like, I know that I have a propensity toward, especially near a full moon in Virgo, a propensity toward maybe even hypochondria and worrying too much. But simultaneously, it's also filling me up with the energy to be able to discern what I should worry about and what I shouldn't. And like I said, that's how we really use this full moon energy positively, is we take that Virgo energy and we apply it to what is really important for my attention to be on, What should I really give my emotions to? And what is not serving me in any capacity? That's what Virgo energy on the full moon will really help us do, because ultimately full moon energy is about releasing and letting go. So let's really look to release and let go of all the things that are not serving us. Now, the thing about a full moon is we might need to feel it first. So you may expect some sort of like burdensome worrying going on, but feel it and think, then okay, I'm feeling this, honor it, but is this really serving me? What is this doing for my life? And then that is what will help you know what to let go of and what to keep. Is how does it make you feel when you feel it, and when you lose yourself in that hypochondria or that worry or like judgmental or negative emotions? How does it make you, how does feeling those things make you feel? And is this something that you want to live in? Is this something that you want to stick to? Like seriously, once we feel those feelings, like we can say, oh wow, this is not a good headspace for me. This is not a good place for me to live. I don't want to stay here. I can't grow anything, because remember, Virgo energy is about growth and growing things and cultivating things and nurturing them so that they feed. Happy birthday, Doug Denny. So that they feed, so that we feed them so that they grow. So it's almost like, it reminds me of that, Native American folktale about the two wolves. Which wolf are you going to feed? Are you going to feed the one that wants to devour and takes things from you and is angry and hurtful? Or are you going to feed the positive? Are you going to feed the ones that really serve you and make you and your life feel good? In this Virgo energy, what are we going to feed? We're going to have to separate what is wasteful and what is practical and worth investing in. So that's our goal during this full moon energy. Because I love this book, and I'm just going to read for you from this book. I can't stop mentioning it. I love it. My Witch's Date book. I'm going to read to you this little excerpt they have on full moon in Virgo, and then I'm going to get into the readings, okay? During the full moon in Virgo, we turn to the task of separating the grain from the chaff to bring the things of our lives to order. Virgo is the practical priestess, the healer, connected to the archetype of the virgin goddess Hestia, who teaches us the value of intentional solitude. Virgo medicine shows us how to be discriminating and hone things down to their essentials. It's interesting because Venus is in Taurus now, and that can also have a very independent energy associated with it too, of feeling really good about being independent, about taking ourselves under control and doing things with ourselves. And that's really interesting how these two energies line up. Virgo medicine shows us how to be discriminating and hone things down to their essentials. She is the solitary witch in the forest who tends herbs by the moon, the one who knows that the rituals of daily life are sacred, that the body is the temple, and that service is a spiritual practice. Now is the time to synthesize, refine, and make the things of our lives sound. To know just what medicine is required to dispel illusion and to see into the heart of the matter. A prayer that they recommend, 222, God bless you. Hestia, help me sort the seeds. Help me know when it is time to harvest and when it is time to let something die on the vine. Show me the magic of a simple, well-ordered life. That's a beautiful mindset to be in. The one thing I would add is don't grapple or grab onto the concept of order so intensely that becomes something that binds you in and a system that confines you. It's a natural order. It's tapping into the natural order, what's really helping you and what's harming you, what's really useful and what's not. And we'll know that especially around this full moon time by how we feel, by how it makes us feel. And if it's making us feel hypochondria, if it's making us feel too worried and it's making us negatively judge ourselves, based on these confined, really restricted schedules, etc., then it's something that we have to let go. But it's those feelings that are going to let us tell us what's good or what's bad for us. So let's get into the reading. We're going to start with Scorpio. Welcome all Scorpios. I know this is a Friday night, so we don't have a lot of people on, but it's okay because this will stay up. This will stay up for anybody to watch it whenever. So Scorpio, let's begin with you at 10:34. First card up always is our Moonology cards. Be bold and make the first move, a cardinal moon. Wow. So this is actionable energy, and I do think that this has something to do still with Mars being in Capricorn. There's a lot of heavy placements in Capricorn, and Saturn is still in Capricorn, Pluto is still in Capricorn, and Jupiter is still in Capricorn. So these are all energies that make us want to do and achieve and reach our goals, right? And with Mars in Capricorn as well, it's going to make us intent on doing those things. It's going to sort of super infuse us with that energy to make us intent on things. So Scorpio, I think you're really being still influenced by your old master Mars, and it's kind of pushing you because it's in the same sign as Pluto. So these are both where your ruling planets are, right? Is get things done, go, go, go. The only problem is sometimes, especially under the sign of Capricorn, it can be too judgmental. It can be too confined to rules and traditions and too easily slip into, well, this is the way it's always been done, so I'm going to do it within these confines. I think Uranus is in, where's Uranus? I had this information. Hold on. Uranus is in Taurus with Venus. Okay. I'm sorry about that. I'm just like looking at my chart. So you want to take this chance. You want to make this bold move forward, or at least you have the energy and you're ready. Still, I feel this sort of resistance somehow, Scorpio, and I want to get deeper into the other cards. The issue is this: to get to a point where you don't have to resist, to get to a point where you feel good about what you want to do, to get to a point where you can eliminate the resistance and move forward in the direction that you want to go in. But here's the thing, that resistance is usually a warning sign that says to us, well, maybe this is the wrong direction. Maybe this is a direction we shouldn't be headed in. And that could just be, it could be correct, right? It could be like, what do we do at a stop sign? We take in more information. And then we proceed in the direction that's actually right based on that more information, based on that additional information. So if you're being held back, then basically this is what I would say. Don't deter yourself from moving forward. Just figure out what's making you feel uncomfortable and get to the place where you don't have to feel uncomfortable. If it's the wrong direction, then change direction and move forward in the direction that's actually going to get you to the place that makes you happy. If it is the right direction and the fear was irrational, then roll on through. Now you know. So honor those feelings if you have any kind of hesitation, and be sure that you're not superimposing any kind of irrational judgment on your emotions. Honor your emotions and let them flow through you. Recognize them. And you don't have to open them up and share with the world, Scorpio, but just allow it in yourself. Like, have this internal conversation going on with you to say, okay, this is what's making me uncomfortable. How do I rid myself of this discomfort so I can move forward? Because there's definitely the energy of, we want to move forward. We want to go. We want to be bold. We don't want to be stuck anymore. We want to keep progressing. We want to make the next move. And that's a wonderful energy, but I still feel this pull back. And I say, honor that pullback. Understand why the pullback is there. There's usually a pullback before we spring forward. We've talked about that. We talk about that all the time. So what is it? Like, what is it? What is it that's making us, what is it that's holding us back? Maybe it's just the momentum we need to build to push forward. Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, healer. So you are the mystic, and you can teach us those things that are mystifying to other people. I think essentially what this is saying is the best way that you're going to proceed and move forward is through the service of others, through helping others. And that may be something that it's almost like a sneak attack, a backdoor entry type of energy. Whereas cardinal energy is really unafraid of going it alone, but maybe that's what's pulling you back. You don't want to go it alone. And so you don't really have to go it alone, do you? If you're helping others or you're finding ways to push forward on behalf of other people, then you're not really alone, are you? You're always in the activity of being purposeful, but you're also moving forward at the same time. Here we have let your light shine. And what a beautiful energy, like this heart space energy of coming into your full sense of self and how you can vibrate and affect others through those vibrations, connecting with others, but at a safe distance, in that you're serving them, you're helping them, you're guiding them, you're leading them, but you don't necessarily have to break all your walls down and let everybody in. This is a beautiful sense of show your capabilities to the world. And through doing that, you can move forward and make progress and also inspire people, but also stay safely at a distance to really be discerning as to who you want to allow closer. And then last but not least, we have this energy of pronghorn, action. It's more, and I told you, Mars is influencing you big time because we have the ram here. Now is the time to act. Opportunities are here. Move forward with confidence. Your talents will always help you land on the pinnacle. Your quick wit and keen senses will lead you to success. This is actionable energy, Scorpio. Now is the time. But like I also said, I'm going to go back to it. It's about preparing yourself to be able to move forward. And as we apply that Virgo energy to this full moon, if there's something making you feel uncomfortable, then that's something that you have to let go of. It's something that you have to release. But you don't force it out. You figure it out and figure, how do we get rid of it? How do we get rid of it? And we usually get rid of things by honoring, by honoring them, so that we don't try to jump over them and then end up tripping over them. Let's honor those things that may be making us hesitant, and whereby honoring them, removing them, getting them out of the way to clear that path. Because there's such an energy of just not being able to wait anymore, of wanting to just leap forward and push ahead. And now is the time to do it, Scorpio. Now is the time to do it. Actually loving that energy for you. Lots of progress can be made during this time for you. So take advantage of it. All right, Scorpio, we're leaving Scorpio reading, going into Sagittarius at 1840. Sagittarius energy. Let's see. Your commitment is being tested. First quarter moon. I love this card actually because it's almost like the image of the card is actually in the negative space. So this is my Santa Claus card. It's like this little delivery man. He's carrying a burden, but he's carrying a burden and he's carrying a knapsack. And what is it for? It's for other people. It's a burden for other people. So your commitment to somebody else, what you're willing to endure, what you're willing to carry, or what you're willing to offer to somebody else is being tested. Is it your commitment as in your relationship? Well, that could be something that you have to sift through. Remember, think of that sifting through energy of what is working and what is not. What should I stop working on, and what should I focus more energy into working on? Like, sift through those practical, purposeful expenditures of your energy, especially in terms of the commitments that you've made to other people. Now, this doesn't mean that you're dumping anybody or that you're breaking up or anything like that. What it does mean is that there's a need to reassess how you're spending your energy on others. Like, what is working for you, what needs to go, and what has to stay. You also may feel a lot of tension, a lot of like tension building or energy building, a lot of frustration, getting really irritable or agitated, but with certain people or certain goals or chores that you've committed yourself to. Okay, well, that agitation, what is it doing? It's teaching you something. So Sagittarius, on this full moon, pay especially close attention to those ways that are rubbing you in your commitment. Why? Because clearly they're weak spots or things that needed to be worked on. But the fact that they're being revealed means that you now have a chance to work on them. Let them go, repair them. Should they stay or should they go? Get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitive, connect with nature. Really beautiful energy, Sagittarius. So this is implying that maybe, just maybe, a lot of this agitation is coming from a lack of connection. Maybe it could be overworking or extending yourself too far, right? Like giving too much. And so assessing, like, let's reel it back a little bit and just take some time to reconnect and do what grounds our own energy and grounds ourself and heals our spirit a little bit. Get grounded. Wow. It's such a beautiful card. Whispers. This is that intuitive energy. This is that energy that we don't listen to enough. And if our frustration, Sag, has been building for a while, then we've probably not had access to those little voices that are trying to get through to us and lead us in the right direction. And that's what the grounding is for, is to make us reconnect with those voices. Now, you don't have to go outside and hug a tree, but go for a walk. Go for a walk in the woods. Like, reconnect yourself, to like lean up against a tree and just like share its energy for a second. Or meditate, but meditate outside. If it's too cold where you are, meditate around your plants. Or meditate, wrap yourself up, bundle yourself up and go for a walk and meditate as you walk. Cleanse that energy that's frustrating you, because clearly there are messages that are trying to get through that will help to clarify things for you and help settle your spirit. But right now they're not getting through because there's so much chaos in your life. Fox, clever. And Fox is very Sagittarian energy. You are swift and smart. Solutions to problems are easily found. Always listen to your instincts. Resources surround you. Be open to romance. Oh la la. So be nimble, be agile. The fox totem always teaches us how to be like a master at improv and not to expect, which could be part of the problem, especially if you're dealing with romance. Expectations. Expectations have built too high. They've built too much. They've been overloading you, and you want the expectations gone. Maybe expectations are helping to clutter and interfere with the love that you have or your ability to connect to a new partner. So this is about getting lighter, really laying down those burdens and letting go of that. I was going to say load, letting go of that load, Sagittarius, and being able to release those things that are just basically overburdening you. All right, you need to get lighter. And this is a great opportunity to do it. Those things that are irritating you and agitating you, what this energy tells me is there are probably things you could put down immediately. You're paying too much attention to things that are already superfluous. They're things that you could just lighten your load and like just like let it go. It's not even things that are qualified enough or should get much of your attention at all. You can let this go, and it's easier than you think. It'll be easier than you think to lay this down. And maybe, just maybe, the person that you're with, or if you're single, it doesn't really matter, right? Won't even care. You know what I'm saying? It's like for some reason you've given too much energy and too much focus to something that wasn't that important to begin with, and it's cluttering you. So declutter. Just get rid of it and declutter. It's going to be easier than you think. Love it. All right, Sagittarius. Let's go on to Capricorn. What is this? Oh, I'm sorry, 25. All right, Capricorn. Let's see what energy is coming out for you. Capricorn, your dreams need a practical plan, full moon in Taurus. And one would think that Capricorn, like, already has practical plans, right? But like I said before, especially with Saturn and Capricorn, there can be this overwhelming need to stick to established ways, and that can actually go into the realm of the impractical, because lots of times, especially with Jupiter trying to expand us, there's this need for us to look beyond what has been done before and to pave our own paths. And so if we're obsessed with like staying inside the lines, then we may not be able to get our job done. So that could be what's impeding your ability to lay down or make a plan that's actually working. Because yeah, we're being called, Capricorn, you're being called to make long-term plans, but are they realistic, or are they overburdening you? Are you pushing too hard? Are you trying too hard to stay in confines that actually are restricting you, not supporting you? That's something that you're going to have to weigh when we come to this Virgo full moon, is like, how am I using the lines? How am I using them? Am I using them as a means to conduct me? Are they helping me, or are they restricting me and making me, like, forcing me to stay on a path when I should have turned off in another direction, but I didn't, because that's not where the lines showed me to go. So that's sort of, it's really interesting, but that's sort of the energy and the way that you want to make, like, discern between what needs to go and what needs to stay. Have you really, all the pressures that you've been putting on yourself, are they all necessary, or are some of them actually counterproductive? And I have this huge feeling, Capricorn, that a lot of these energies are counterproductive. They're not serving you. Your need to stay to some sort of traditional routine or mindset, or something that you've thought 20 years ago, oh, this is the way things work, so this is, no, things change, you know? Things move, they move on, they require different aspects of ourselves, or society wants different, whatever, things change. Have you changed with them, or are you still sticking with a specific plan that probably should have been molded and readjusted a long time ago? You're overburdening yourself. There's a huge overburden and weight on Capricorn right now, like to the point where you could be making yourself ill. So there is a need to deconstruct all those lines that you felt so safe in for so long, and to open yourself up to being more flexible and developing a new plan for yourself based on what's practical now. I am reminded, and I share this with you a lot, I am reminded of what my yoga instructor always tells me, is be in the body that you're in today, not the body that you were in when you were a kid or even yesterday. Use this, make your plan to get through the next hour and a half of this yoga class based on what you feel right now, what's going on right now. So there is a sense of needing to readjust and figure out what needs to go and what needs to stay in terms of those aspects of your plan that you plotted years ago that may not be working for you anymore. We move on to awakening. Oh, this is definitely a time of change for you, Capricorn, for you to release and let go of those old restrictive concepts. Energetic upgrades, a new way of being, and integration, lightening you, newness, because that's what the new moon represents. And if you've been feeling these strains and these pressures, and especially if you've been feeling some sort of like physical manifestations of pain or hurt or suffering or illness, it's because your body is trying to awaken you to something. It's because you're resisting physically to what you need spiritually. And so the resistance has to be let go of if you don't want your body to break. your awakening. This is all part of you becoming somebody else, like you're kind of in a cocoon right now. You're going through your change period, which is never comfortable, but it's there to serve a purpose, and the purpose is to make you more conscious and more connected, and live a more conscious and connected life. And now we have soul mating. Oh, shoot, Capricorn. Now, Capricorns don't choose their mates easily. They really don't. But there has been this energy that's been circling around you. Understand something. You don't meet a soulmate. And this could be for Capricorns that are in long-term relationships too, of being able to reconnect and lose all those things that have those burdens that we take onto our backs all the time and that start to get in the way. It's almost like our baggage is blocking us from being able to look at our partner anymore. So we got to get rid of this baggage, especially when we think, oh, no, I need to hold on to this baggage because I've carried it for so long. It must be important. No, it's just junk you're lugging from one location to another. You've even forgotten what's in the bag. So this is the time to unload because it's keeping you from connection. Remember, we find our soulmate, or we can reconnect again with our partner when we find ourselves. And so I think this breaking down is causing you guys to slow down and reassess, like, what is healthy, what is not, what is necessary, what is not, and bring you back to that sense of that heart space to open you up and break you open so that you are prepared to connect in a very deep and passionate way, Capricorn, which is clearly being set up for you. So this is awakening and lightening to a new you so that you can have a new love, even if that new love is with your old love, but it's renewed and refreshed. Dolphin energy, play. I love this energy for you guys because it's so not you guys, whatever. Swim in the happy joy of living. Inhale confidence and exhale fear. Dive into your wisdom and go with the flow. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Play. Be shallow, be on the surface. Feel your feelings and then let them go. Allow this ebb and flow. Are you being playful? Don't structure play. Remember, oh my God, it's like, don't be that helicopter parent to yourself that has to structure every aspect of their child's day. Like, allow your inner child to just play, to just unleash them into the living room and see what they do, right? Just like, yeah, I mean, like safety lock things that you have to and stuff. Prepare. Remember, your dreams need a practical plan. Prepare practically, but not in a draconian way that you're like locking your kid in and restricting play, and it's not play anymore. You don't want to take the play aspect away of your inner child. You want to unleash them and let them be happy. There is a sense that you guys have not been playing enough, that you've been too restrictive with yourself, and that restriction is actually starting to make scars or wounds or break you in different aspects. Like I said, it could be manifesting itself physically, it could be manifesting itself in your relationships. This is a time to let the helicopter land and turn it off, done. I just saw 3-3-3-3. Spirit is around us. This is balanced energy. Get yourself back into balance by allowing yourself to just have a good time and be jovial and not think about things, maybe even not plan things too far ahead. Get back to a little bit what Sagittarius is facing, which is just improving, right? And letting yourself be in this present moment. It's going to help you and it's going to heal you and allow you. You're being faced with this challenge because you're awakening. That's what's going on, Cap. You're being faced with the challenge because you're becoming something else. You're becoming something more than you were. It's not just to torment you or torture you. So there is a purpose behind it. I also hear vacation here, Capricorn. You may need to get away. And so many times, Capricorn, your idea of getting away is a business trip. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about actually going away, like vacationing to a place where you can sit on your butt all day if you want to, or you can just focus on letting yourself go and having fun. But you need to bring play back into your life. This is not about structured play, and this is not about going on a work trip or going on a family trip. Those are not trips. Those are not trips. No, you need an actual vacation. So some of you could actually need a vacation, and that may be what you want to plan. You know what I'm saying? Like around this Virgo full moon, start planning your vacay and say, hey, I really need to get away for a while. Even if it's just a long weekend, where do I want to go? Like that could be your practical plan. And that would be what I suggest, is that you can go somewhere where you can release and set yourself free. All right, Capricorn, let's move on to Aquarius. Aquarius is at 35, 40. Okay. Let's go. Have faith in your dreams. Waxing crescent moon. Have faith in your dreams. There are opportunities opening up very nicely for you guys. But I also think there have been some major judgments and attempts at deconstructing you. And that's that energy that's opposing you, of maybe pulling you back and no, we don't want it. We're not ready for the Aquarius mindset yet. We want to still do things the old way. Believe in yourself. Despite the fact that people are still attached to their rigid structure, and it's idiotic and it's stupid and it's cowardly, and you're planning things outside the box. This is saying, keep planning those things outside the box, please, because things are changing. Things are changing, Aquarius. They're changing toward your energy. So even if you don't feel the full effect now, it's coming. So do not give up on what instinctually you know to be correct. Believe in your ideas, believe in the way that you do them, and continue to do them. Do not fight hard or waste any energy against those people who are like, you're not traditional, you're doing things the wrong way. Don't, like I do to the trolls on here. Just go like, delete, block, delete. Don't give them even a little bit of your time of day, right? If you really love something, then do it. Do it for the love of it, because you're being called to it for a reason. There's a reason why you're being called to it. Follow in faith and proceed. Listen, there's going to be, especially as we transition, there's going to be this kickback of, no, I want to confine, I want to constrain, I want to restrict, right? As Saturn is moving from Capricorn into Aquarius, I think on March 21st, there's going to be this kickback of, oh, I'm not really ready to let go, like a child learning to swim, clinging to the wall. It's like their body's in the water, but they're still holding onto the wall. It's gonna almost be like that, which could be really irritating and frustrating to you guys. You're just like, let go of the frickin' wall. You're wearing a life vest, you'll float. What the is going on? Don't waste your energy. Let them cling to the wall. Eventually, especially when you ignore them, they'll release and let go, right? Sometimes it's that you're watching it too hard and you're being the enforcer by forcing the newness in places that aren't ready for it. Forget about it. Don't force. There's no need to force. Eventually, they'll change their tune. Eventually, they'll come around. You just keep believing in you and your purpose and your projects. Dance with life. Oh, I love this energy. It says, do something to change your energy. So clearly you've been negatively impacted by all this naysaying and restriction and like backlash. It's almost like you've been fighting as hard as they've been fighting, and what you didn't realize is you're actually becoming and absorbing their energy instead of doing what you're meant to do, which is be free of it. So this is letting go realizing on this Virgo full moon that you need to let go of insisting too hard. If people aren't into it, they're not into it. They don't need to be. I don't need your approval. I'm just going to keep dancing on my own. And whoever wants to join in will eventually join in. Release that tension, release that energy that you've been wasting on trying to change minds that are not ready to change. Ooh, light begins. Oh, wow. So I just got major chills. Honey, you are creating a new universe. You're creating a new world, Aquarius. You have to understand that that's what should get your whole focus. That's what should get your whole attention. Nothing else. These are new ideas. This is a time, this is a switch over to a new way, a new philosophy, a new way of thinking. Remember, I believe that Jupiter is going to go into Aquarius by December of this year. Both Jupiter and Saturn will be in Aquarius. Now, Jupiter will only stay there for a year, but Saturn will stay there for 2.5 years. So understand that there's a big tide, a big shift that's happening at the end of this year. And it's all adjusting in your favor. And it will bring people on board that we're not ready to change right now because they're still holding on to that Capricornian mindset. In other words, you don't have to worry about them. The universe is taking care of them. Release, just believe in yourself and continue to dream this new world into being. That's what you're doing right now. This is literally light beings. This is literally being led, connected to those higher senses, those higher sensations, those higher, even if you believe in higher beings that are trying to, like energies that are trying to get through to you, that are going to help you evolve and raise yourself higher and awaken yourself to like knowledge and insights that you needed, that expansion of minds to be able to access. As long as you throw away any energy that's constricting you or that you're wasting on trying to get people to change that are just not ready to change. They're not your responsibility, Aquarius. And then Raven, ooh, or shaman energy. Like this is it, light beings. This is shamanic energy, messages from spirit direct, right? So you are the creator and the magician. Use your gifts for good. And that's what Aquarius energy teaches us, is to use it not just for ourselves, but when we focus on helping others, we liberate ourselves from the constraints and confinements of, is this good for me? Use your gifts for good. There is power in your wisdom and words. Connect with the elemental spirits and glide through the void. Claim your place as keeper of the mysteries. I mean, that just says it all. You will be the guiding force soon. Your ideas, your energies, caring about the greater good as opposed to just the good of what makes my life good. So believe me when I say, Aquarius, believe in yourself and your purpose. Think of the good that it's going to do and focus on that, because it's literally like think of spirit and the cosmos sort of working through you at this point. Of course, people aren't going to be on board right away. Nobody ever is. Everybody always clings to the old ways. Very few have the insights, so don't worry about that. Worry about the road ahead and the trail you're blazing and nothing else, because just the fact that you're blazing it, Spirit is assigning you to blaze it. That's your purpose right now. That's the walk you've got to walk. Don't worry about people following you, even if you have to walk alone for a while. Eventually, they'll start following along. Ooh, all right, Aquarius. All right. Pisces, let's get into Pisces. Okay. Pisces energy. I want to reapply a little bit of the lip gloss because it's fading, guys. Thank you, Pisces, for just bearing with me for a second. I start to get dry when I talk too much. It's like, I guess it's occupational hazard. It's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio. Ooh, especially if you're dealing with a Scorpio, you could just like something that you've held on to, something that's toxic or toxic ways. It's time to release them. And I think that that's what will be clear to you over this Virgo full moon is that, wow, these behaviors are things that are not serving me. You know, is it my emotional connections? Is it the way that I use substances? Is it the food that I eat? What is harming you? What is your poison? Because that kind of toxicity is what you're going to want to purge, right? Especially since Mercury is going to be going direct as well around the same time as this full moon. There's really a sense of, okay, a lot of muddiness has come up to the surface during the retrograde in your sign. It's time to like literally like sweep that the oil spill and take the oil off of our waters. Like, what is poisoning us? And what have we been doing to contribute to that poison? This is behavior. Release. It's time to release negativity. Emotionally, what have you been holding on to? What kind of emotional connections have you gotten into that have muddied your waters? There could have been some sort of temporary relationship that you were in, or a relationship that you were in becoming very clear that it's more toxic than you wanted to admit. This is the time to admit it and release it if it needs to be let go. This is a huge time for you to purge all that muddiness and all those toxins that came to the surface. Pisces, there is a sense of getting too lost in dreams, getting too lost in, happy birthday, Doug Denny, getting too lost in our, especially with Neptune and Pisces as well, too lost in our dreaminess. It can broaden and expand our mind. Wonderful, especially Jupiter, which still kind of influences you. Being in Capricorn, wanting to get things done and broadening our minds. But how are we also losing our minds in our own fantasies and our own unwillingness to let go of those fantasies, like needing them too much to actually sort of numb any kind of fear of moving forward. This is the time to release that, even if it means confronting that fear, even if it means feeling the fear. Like I say, feel those feelings, honor them so that you can discharge them and get rid of them. And so this is that purge. This is that need to get rid of the toxins, and especially toxic behavior and toxic people that have come into your life, especially over the last month or so. But it could be for a few years. Keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand behind you. There's a connectivity here, and I think that this is also your past lives. Pisces have lived many lives throughout the zodiac, right? So there's a sense of tapping into their wisdom, tapping into their knowledge, understanding that you don't need to have even like negative people or negative connections in your life, because you are the source of the memory of all those lifetimes before, of all your ancestors. You're never alone. You can connect with them at any time. So there is really no need to feel like you have to keep especially negative connections in your life or toxic relationships in your life, because you're not alone. This could also mean in the 3D world, going back to your family, like going back to, or ancestral ancestors, ancient ancestors stand beside you. Reconnecting to your ancestry, reconnecting to your lineage, finding out about it, learning about it, and in lots of ways being able to heal maybe karmic family patterns, realizing that, oh my God, this has been something that has been happening in my family for a long time, or like seeing how you were like your mother, or you're making the same mistakes as your grandmother, etc., can actually help to heal you and reveal those things that you really need that are not serving you and that you've been carrying from lifetimes in the past. This is like your ancestors cheering you on and wanting you to heal those wounds that they didn't have time to heal, to let go of those toxins that they didn't have time to purge. This is them cheering you on and wanting this for you, Pisces. Nothing has gone wrong. This is a beautiful card of balance and acceptance, and knowing that the reason why you've been through all these things, the reason why you put yourself into these situations, in other words, don't judge yourself. That could be that negative aspect of the Virgo full moon, is being too judgmental and being too quick to judge a situation and then making it worse. No, you put yourself into the situations because you needed to try something. You put yourself into the situations because you thought it was the best, or you needed to experience it at that time. Well, guess what? You're allowed to let go. You don't have to hold on. You don't have to hold on. You don't have to justify your connections or even bad choices by continuing and perpetuating them. You can let go. You can release those choices at any time, and now is the time. And then last but not least, bison, abundance. Sacred buffalo, cloak me in your wisdom. Keep me warm through the storms of life. Fill my life with goodness. Teach me the way of gratitude and prayer. Talk about ancestral healing. But the bison is abundant, especially a white spirit animal that comes through. That's a message directly from spirit, a connection of honoring ourselves, valuing our body especially, and what it means and how much of an asset it is to us. Healing ourselves, allowing ourselves to nurture ourselves and feed ourselves. You have the resources, you have everything that you need. You don't have to look beyond or make toxic connections for those connections that you so crave. They're all right here, whether it is from past lives or ancestors that have passed or ancestors and people that are already in your life. You don't have to look beyond. You have the abundance in your life. You have the resources. I swear to God, I got this in a reading. It might have been Pisces' last reading. You guys might want to go check that out if you're watching now. But definitely check, definitely there's a sense of there's no need to hold on to whatever negative energy you've let in your life because you feel like that's your only option. That's bull. Even if it's a job that's been mucking up your life, you can let it go. There will be something else that doesn't take up as much of your time, that allows you more flexibility and dexterity so that you can work on your dreams more. Don't prioritize those things that intoxicate you, that weigh you down. Deprioritize them, let them go. That Virgo full moon is saying what is serving you, what is not, and you have and will be supplied. It's like take the leap and you'll grow wings on the way down. Spirit is going to provide. It's got your back. It's got your back. It's got your back. It's got your back. Pisces, just let go. Let go. Now we move on to Aries. Aries is 5249. Okay. Aries. Luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. Okay. Take aim. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What's your headspace like? What's important to you? Answer those questions and go there. Aim. Shoot and fire, because the universe is ready for you to hit your target. And it's the best way to conduct your energy. I don't think you'll have trouble at this point purging all of those things that you know are getting in your way. I don't think you'll have trouble burning through them, Aries. You are being asked to decide what it is you want and then just take aim at it, because this is a good time for you to do it. Do it now or forever hold your peace type of thing. Now, we always get second chances, but how long does it take for those second chances to come around? That's also a very good question. So Aries, what do you want? Just ask yourself that question. What do you want? But be sure that it's not toxicity from the past. Be sure your arrow is aiming forward, not backward. Be sure that it is a healthy place to put your energy and not just a repeat of the same patterns. That's something that this Virgo full moon energy can help you discern. Has it worked in the past? Has this been your target for a while and now you're basically shooting blanks? Okay, then we need to set our target somewhere else, because clearly we're not landing the arrow in the mark when we shoot in that direction. If it's a wrong direction, we have to stop insisting, right? The arrow is ready to strike. It's ready to bring abundance and fortune into your life, but you actually do have to aim it in a direction where the abundance can come, not to repeat those same sort of karmic patterns, or same sort of like insisting, sort of stubbornness, insisting on something working when it hasn't been working. You may just have to try it a new way and a different way, but there definitely has to be a sense of newness and freshness before you let your arrow fly. Priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? That's really interesting, Aries. But this is putting some sort of responsibility on you and saying, hey, it's you that's directing. It's funny because around this time last year, it was a similar energy for you. It's like you're directing, first of all, your life's flow, but this is the way of us. Ooh, 55. Wow. Big changes. Big changes in your mindset and what you care about. Changes that are outside of yourself, Aries, and aiming outside of yourself. And because that's sort of your Aries rules, that house of self, right? That sense of self, always knowing which direction is right for you. But now it's not just about you. What's better for everybody? What's better for your family? What's better for your friends? What's better for your community? How are you helping? How are you conducting your energy to conduct sort of that higher purpose? Are you? Luck is going to be on your side when you conduct your energy to help toward that higher purpose. Create space. Okay, this is definitely about letting go and releasing like old concepts or old confinements, like anything that has restricted you, or things that you have continued to repeat over and over again. Aries, this is about taking space, maybe actually needing to take physical space away from people or your job, or those things that help to enable those old patterns or those old wants or those old desires. Taking space away from them to clear your brain, like taking actual physical space away from those things that sort of keep you enslaved to what you wanted 10 years ago, instead of where you are right now and looking forward from a fresh set of eyes and what you can do to sort of serve beyond yourself and outside of yourself, and how that will come back and help you. Not necessarily looking for repayment, Aries, but understanding that when we give, we ultimately make space to receive. And that is where you're going, where a lot of benefit and a lot of fortune and abundance is going to start coming in for you. You may need to take space from aspects of your old life in order to see this new potential and to see these new targets. That's the thing, because there's almost a sense right here, Aries, that you've been aiming at the same targets for too long, and that the first thing that you saw when you said luck is on your side is, okay, now I'm going to get what I want. That same target. But the truth is, that's never what you should have wanted. It's always been a waste of time. It will always be a waste of time. So taking space from that, forgetting that, and seeing, oh, that over there, that's where I need to aim. And then letting your arrow fly. Dragon and supernatural. What a great energy to have for you, who is a fire sign, who is the fire sign. You are the ancient wise sage. You can shapeshift at will. Mastery is your destiny. Rise with dignity. This is about change. It's about a time to transform. And something new, a newness, a new sense of pride, a new sense of self. setting your sense of self and your pride at different targets, changing what makes you feel good and what makes you feel most successful, allowing those things to change. There's huge awakenings going on, and your shift is in how you feel successful and how you feel like you're feeding yourself. This is a time to shape shift, to change, to be different, to be better, or to have different focuses, or allow yourself to focus on something new. You are the ancient wise sage. You can shape shift at will. So this is not something that you have to worry about. In other words, shape shifting is a part of who you are, Aries. You're not supposed to be stuck or confined. You're supposed to be able to open up and seek out new experiences. You don't have to be restrained by fear or by tradition. Don't let those confines hold you back. Allow yourself to use this other ability, which is to change at will. Fire is very malleable, right? It doesn't have confines, right? It does need energy to burn, it needs fuel, but it doesn't have a shape. That's what's so beautiful about fire. It dances wherever it finds the fuel. So it's like, stop insisting about finding the fuel in one area and let yourself jump and let yourself grow and light the world on fire. Not really, of course. That's all metaphorical. I don't want Google to get the wrong impression about my channel. I'm just saying. Okay, Aries. Love you guys. And now we move on to Taurus. Taurus. Where am I? 1:01. Oh wow, already an hour, huh? Okay. Taurus. Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. Why did I feel like I knew this energy was coming for you? This is more fixed energy, but it's also a sense of what you love, what you're passionate about. But being so passionate about it, you've almost been blind to like the accuracies or the aptitude that you have in it. A sense of don't like the pride before the fall. Are you really watching? Do you really love this? Is this something that you really care about? And is this something that you're really good at? This is always the lesson of competence versus confidence. And do you have them both? Or have you just been sort of allowing yourself to push, insist, and not really focusing on the underlying, but have I worked on the quality? Have I qualified? Like, have I really qualified everything that I need to qualify? Or has it just been about quantity? Take a second. And that's what you're basically sifting through on this Virgo full moon. Confidence and competence. Have I paid enough attention to both? Or has one gotten my attention over the other? That's something that you're going to have to be wary of. And really practically take your ego out of it, which is going to be difficult, right? Especially with Venus and Taurus kind of filling you up with a sense of self and independence and direction. Dial it back a second. Has there been too much of one over the other? Too much confidence and not enough competence? Understand that. Don't let pride get in your way. There's things that you have to release. And I think it has to do with a sense of pride, maybe even a sense of false pride. Especially, I know you guys were having a little trouble for a while, especially if you've been going through hard times. Lots of times we can lean on our ego to push us through it. Fake confidence, false confidence. It serves its purpose for a while, but it's not supposed to be something. It's like fake nails. You know what I'm saying? They're not supposed to last forever. And when you try to make them, you end up like bloodying yourself and getting infections. Don't try to make something that was temporarily there to help you and support you and be a crutch. Don't let that crutch become your third leg. You got to like get rid of that crutch now. So if your ego was sort of like blown up just to get you through a tough time, it's time to let it go. It's time to deflate it. It's time to dial it back and get back to looking and focusing on the beauty that is really focusing on quality. Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Has there been too much of a focus on material gain? Has there been too much of a focus on luxury? Has there been too much of a focus on glamour? Because you've lost your purpose in this world. Get refocused, Taurus, on how to help others. How what you can give or what you have can encourage and help others. There has been a little bit too much of a focus on self lately and not enough on selflessness. This is about return to your community. Why? Because it's going to help to heal your heart. It's going to do something for you that your ego couldn't do, which is reconnect you. And that's really what you need. It's almost like you were desperately looking for connection. And so your ego filled in, but it was a weak crutch. Let's put it that way. Those solutions that are coming to you to really make you strong and really push your life forward are those solutions that are going to help other people too. You can really thrive in this space, Taurus. You can really thrive because you're really good at, you're really good at attracting luxury to you or working out those finances and attracting money to you. What if you were attracting money and luxury to you on behalf of others to distribute it out? It's almost like you've forgotten about this for too long, and it's something that you need to get back to because it's going to actually help to heal those places that are empty or hurt or saddened in you right now. It's going to reconnect you and make you feel warm in your heart again in a way that pridefulness could not do. Focus, return your, okay. This sort of uplifting humanity energy is going to help to, that's what's going to help to do. It's going to help to focus you again. There has been a distraction. There has been some hardship. There has been a sense of insecurity in yourself. Giving to others and seeing how much you can positively impact others is going to refocus you. It's going to help you. There's a little sense of maybe you've gotten off the path or you've gotten too lost in the glamour of it, like the quantity over the quality type of energy that we were just talking about with Aries. You've gotten a little bit too off the path. It's not just about humbling yourself. It's about reconnecting with your real purpose, which is to help others by what you can gather together. Help others by distributing the resources you're so good at accumulating. What can you do to build the world up? You're so good at it. You're so good at it. But it's almost like you've lost a little bit of the focus and you've been focusing too much on me. And that's actually creating a real rift. And part of why you feel so disconnected. And then last but not least, goose. Inner knowing. You are a brave traveler. Your soul knows the way. Be confident you will achieve your destination. Loyal friends are always with you. Don't worry, you are blessed. Let yourself fly. Now let me tell you what I heard as I was reading this. I'm going to go back and the messages that I was getting. You are a brave traveler. Your soul knows the way. Inside, you know that you've become distant from your soul purpose, okay? Be confident you will achieve your destination. Loyal friends are always with you. Have you allowed yourself too many shallow or kind of, not shallow connections, but profitable connections as opposed to supporting connections? Like, who are your tribe? Who are the people that you know really love you? It's those people that you have to connect to. It's those energies that you have to share and tap into. Like, how do you feel when you really feel loved? I know you feel great, a sense of accomplishment when you make another $1 million or break into that deal. But is that really feeding your soul or is it feeding your ego? Right? Now we're going to go back to feeding your soul. And it could have to do with reconnecting with your real friends. Not those friends you're shaking hands across the table, you know, they're business partners and they like you because you make them so much money. No, we're talking about the real people who matter. Getting back to your soul tribe and not forgetting them and not leaving them behind. And I don't think that you were. I think that there was almost a reason that you emotionally disconnected from them because it was hurting to be away from them, or it was hurting to feel like you were losing them, or maybe you did lose somebody. So there is an energy of almost trying to protect yourself from hurting by keeping a distance. Get back to them. Get back to that soul tribe, get back to those real connections, and use them and work with those people to do your higher purpose work. This is the time. You'll go so far. I'm telling you, energy is shifting. As when that energy starts to shift into Aquarius, it's always going to call us to let our sense of self and our sense of earning for ourselves go, and more focused on what are we doing for the collective. And you're so good at earning for the collective, Taurus. Get back to it. It's going to help you heal. Moving on, let's do this. 10:46, Gemini. Gemini, I'm sorry that I'm not talking to you guys. I just can't read all the things that are popping up on the side. I apologize. So, Gemini energy for the Virgo full moon. You and your loved ones are safe. Oh, this hit real hard, Gemini. Because there has been negative aspects, negative energies kind of chasing you, right? Or you coming up against like just things that have really sort of pulled the rug out from underneath you, and made you really kind of reassess the decisions that you make and the people that you welcome into your life and space. So this is saying that the people that you care about the most are not going to be affected by this. Not only are they not going to be affected by this, but they can't be affected. They're on your side 100%. So this is about reconnecting with those people who have your back no matter what, who love both of you, both twins, just accept you for who you are, but also knowing that they're safe. You've done your job, you're protecting them, but you're also safe in their eyes. Your reputation, they never doubted you. You always have a place to go back to with them. This is a sense of, this was always your safe space, your safe haven. They were never qualifying you based on what you build up that was maybe even false, right? They didn't qualify you on those things. This is getting, like, decluttering and getting the clutter out of your life, getting the toxins out of your life, and getting back to the simplicities of who really matters to me. So it's almost like you were literally afraid of people getting hurt as you were being attacked, right? Because it's always a risk. If you're being attacked or you have a lot of craziness going on in your life, you're afraid that somehow that's going to negatively impact those ones that you care about the most. Well, this is an energy that says, A, make their safety your priority. That's going to actually help you too by focusing outside of yourself, focusing on them instead of you. It's going to help you clarify things for you, make it become really obvious what's toxic and what needs to go and what needs to stay. So as we sift through what needs to go and needs to stay over this Virgo full moon, focusing on what's good for your loved ones is going to help. It's going to be that benchmark. It's going to be that qualifier. It's going to be that scale that says, is it good for them? Does it keep them safe? Okay, then it stays. Does it damage them, or might it damage them? Okay, then it needs to go. If it's not good for them, it's not good for me. Let me take myself out of the scenario. Why? Because sometimes we get muddled by our own egos. We get flustered. We get caught up in ourselves. The secret is go outside of yourself and say, well, what's good for them? What would I want in their life? Right? What's going to positively impact them and make me more available for them? Gemini, that's your secret to success, is weighing it as if you were weighing it for them. And it's going to make things so much more clear for you. This is the way to go. Soul family, ouch. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Bam! Powerful energy of those people actually, without you asking, coming in to protect you. And then that's what brings you around to, oh, I really need to prioritize these people again. This is how I want to feel. These are the people that I want around me, and these are the people that I don't want harmed. It's almost like they're going to come in right at the right time to remind you of where your priorities need to be, because they're the ones that really have your back. These are the people that you're protecting. These are the people who are protecting you. There's a reciprocal relationship here. There's no relationship if it's not reciprocal, right? There's no relationship if you were just casting your energy out and not getting anything back, and you were with a taker, right? No way. There was no and this is all also the twins, right? Your two aspects coming into union with each other. Like, think of the Lovers card, they're facing each other. That's your card, that's your energy of your yin and your yang, both sides of yourself coming into union. And also being around people who accept both aspects of yourself and help bring you together. Hey, JJ, help bring you together instead of pull you apart or say, well, I want this part of you, but I don't want that part of you. It's like, I don't come severed, okay? I come as a pair. We come as a set. It's not like you could just take one and not the other. That's a bunch of BS. So you know these people who really got your back, and they're going to come in and remind you of that connection that makes you feel so good, and it's going to help you to set those benchmarks of, all right, I want to take care of these folks. These are the people who really matter to me, right? And if it's not right for them, it's not right for me, and it's got to go. It's going to really help you. Soul name. This is your invention of self. And this is maybe saying that this is a time for you, Gemini, to reinvent yourself and decide who you are, or the name that you gave yourself before you came onto this planet and like got the name that you were given. Who are you really? What is your purpose? Getting closer to your purpose. Your higher purpose is you are a master communicator. You can talk to anybody, and it is through your ability to connect with all different kinds of people that you can serve all different kinds of people the most. You can be the translator. You don't have to do all the work. You can just be the translator. You can be the one that this person needs this and this person needs this, and I understand what they're going through and I understand what they're going through and this, and you can translate for the rest of the world, because you can always put things in an amusing way that everybody will listen to. You can always be able to like take really crazy concepts and put them into words that the public can just soak up immediately. You have the ability to take crazy concepts and turn them into something that is easily digestible. That is your higher purpose. That is your soul name. And there you go. This is a time to sort of like get rid of all those things that are fogging or clouding or getting in the way of it, and get back on track with that kind of work. That'll also help to clear your head space. And it'll also help to sort of clear up any kind of reputation damage that's been done to you, any kind of crap that's been slung in your direction. It will help you by once again showing the world your superpower of, but I can understand you. Without judgment, I know what you're saying. And I can describe it to them so they can understand, even though they couldn't initially understand. Like, remind the world of who you are by getting back in touch with your soul purpose. Elephant, greatness. Wow. Love is your strength. Leadership is your path. Your wisdom inspires everyone you meet. You can overcome any problem. You will naturally and easily achieve success. The North Node's about to move into Gemini too. When does that happen? In May? Get ready for it. Get ready for it. And your Uranus will be, Saturn will be in Aquarius too. Get ready for it, because it's shifting. Our mode to success is shifting back to what our higher purpose is, and how do we lead, and how do we help others. So this is that energy of, guess what? Especially with the North Node in your sign, how do you lead? How do you help others? You connect people. You connect people conceptually. You help them understand each other. That's what you can do. That's your superpower. Remind people of this, because it's almost like we went through this. You can check out your reading too, Gemini. We went through this. There was a sullying or a muddying of who you are. There was some doo-doo being slung all over you. And there was a sense of needing to wash it away and get away and renew yourself. That's awesome. That was step one. Step two, especially around this Virgo full moon, is now to make it not so much about, now that you've healed yourself, to make it not about yourself, make it about other people, and make it about what they will lose if the world loses you. And when I say the world, it could be on the broad sense, or it could just be your family. You know, if your family loses you, that's a great loss. And how will these people be affected? And now we shift and we are able to sift out, oh, I get it. I see how people need me. I see how I lead people. I see what I mean to people. And so I have to get rid of anything that clutters or deconstructs that relationship with them and what they need. It's a perfect way to do it. Perfect way to sift out the garbage from the treasure. Because sometimes, especially when a lot of doo-doo has been slung, everything gets muddied. Everything has to be cleaned down and focus has to be restored. So, whew, whoa. It's like no pressure, Gemini, no pressure. Cancer. Where are we? 1/21/06. Excellent. Okay. Cancer. Oh, okay. A new romantic cycle begins. Look at the scales. I love the scales. This is Libra energy. So this is talking about connection and communion with another person. Cancer, you know, this is a really, I thought of the scales immediately because I've been thinking of scales this whole time, of weighing what works for us and what doesn't. This Virgo full moon is preparing us for what can be our Achilles heel and our most difficult relationship, which is romance. And why do I say that that's our most difficult relationship? Because it tends to be the relationship where we give most of ourselves away, where we are willing to mostly become whatever the other person needs. Okay? And that becomes a really big problem. Now, as we're prepping, and clearly this new romantic relationship is coming in, and I've been getting those readings for a while now, what the universe is trying to build us up to do, what do we need and what don't we need? But it's not about just sifting out what do we need and what don't we need, what garbage do we need to get rid of. That's important, but what's more important is learning how to do it. You understand? Is being able to discern what's garbage and what stays, so that we don't put new garbage back in once we've cleared out the old garbage, you know? So we don't just fill up, like, let's take stock of what we're getting rid of now, of what we're purging now, so that we don't make the same mistakes again and just, okay, I just got rid of 5 dozen pair of old socks that I never used so I can buy new ones? No, we never use them, so stop buying them. So it's not just about what we're getting rid of, but it's being able to learn how to get rid of things, how to not hold on to things, and see the patterns of what we've held on to and what doesn't serve us, so that we don't keep making those same mistakes over and over and over again, because we are being primed for a very romantic time when we're going to have a lot of suitors and a lot of options, especially if we're single, but even if we're in a romantic relationship. This is, what patterns have we gotten into that don't serve us, learning how to decipher between what serves us and what doesn't, so we don't let any more of the old clutter in. It's like, what's the purpose of cleaning out if you're just gonna take in the same doo-doo? You know, it's like just gonna fill it up with new with new crap of the old kind. Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? So it's learning how to weigh the good from the bad. It's the learning of how to sift the good and the bad. It's the learning of the purposeful, what serves us and what doesn't. It's the learning what serves us and what doesn't. So we stop taking in the stuff that doesn't serve us to begin with. And I'm saying all this why? Because romance is on the horizon. It's coming like at a like a thunderous pace. We want this one to be good. We want this to be healthy. This is a really beautiful time for us, something that's so important for us. So hey, let's do it right this time. Warrior woman. Ooh, have you answered your deepest calling? Ooh. Wow, that's powerful stuff. That's my Joan of Arc card. And this is interesting because this is like standing alone, standing in your own power, being willing to go it alone. This is always preamble to the beautiful relationship that begins, because when you find your true power and you find your true purpose, and I've said this time and time again, if you haven't gotten the extended, you might want to get the extended. Cancerians, it's about finding your purpose, because you're going to meet your person on your purpose path. It's not going to be random. They're coming to you on the path that they're interested in too. So it's by finding your purpose, by finding your solo purpose, you're actually putting yourself on the path where you're both coming toward each other without knowing it. It's going to be a happy accident that you meet, but it's not an accident at all. It's going to be fated. It's going to be that path, that destiny path that you were assigned to. That's how you're going to meet them. But if you're not on that path, are you going to meet them? No. You got to find your purpose and your solo purpose first to get ready for what's coming. And so it's not about thinking, my romance, I'm going to find my purpose for my romance. No, you're finding your purpose for your purpose. You're believing in your purpose because guess what? You have a higher purpose. You have a higher meaning. You have a higher role to play, or people need you outside of your next romantic partnership. It's important to focus on those things so that your mind is clear and you declutter so that you have room to meet somebody on that path. You understand? That's where your focus has to be, on your life's purpose. Alignment. We have 2 swords here. So essentially, you're being asked to do something very complex for you, which is head over heart. Don't be led by your emotions. Let this Virgo energy help you set your own boundaries and sift through those things that don't serve you and get onto your path. This is your higher calling, but it's also triumph and victory. It's also success. Think of the Ace of Swords. Being totally in alignment, your head and your heart being in alignment. How do you get those 2 things in alignment? Your sole purpose is have a focus. Have something that you're working on. Have something that you care about that's bigger and more important than you. And be complete. And that's how you get that alignment inside of you that's going to make you vibrate at that energy that's going to call in your soulmate. Now, these cards are coming in because it's almost being said that most of us have done this work and we're there. We're there. So we're on the path already. Keep in alignment. Joan of Arc, I remembered back to the who is this Aquarius energy. It could just be Aquarius energy. It could have just been not a person that's an Aquarius, but Aquarius energy in general. Aquarius energy now calling to us and saying, Cancers, what's your higher purpose? What were you assigned before you were born? What were you supposed to be working on when instead you were too focused on romantic relationships? No, you need to focus on what you were supposed to work on, because that's how you're going to get to your real romance. You understand? We already had it in place for you. We already made your true love. We knew you were going to need them. But Cancers, you've kept yourself from them because your path and your divine focus was always the path to them. You just didn't want to get on it because you were focused on the wrong thing. Focus on your divine purpose. And this is saying that we have been. We're on the right path. We are vibrating higher and higher and higher. And the more we focus on our purpose, on our solo purpose, the higher we raise no, I don't want to say high vibration. The more harmonious we make those vibrations, the more we get our head and our heart in alignment. Because too much, we just think with our heart. And it's like, well, then what's our brain for? To just sit there and be like, no, it's not. Each decision, we now have to focus on this energy that helps us focus on the alignment between our head, our heart, our body, mind, and spirit. What aligns us? What helps us get into that really harmonious vibration? That's what's going to call in our soulmate. And it's like we're calling in our soulmate right now. Last but not least, dog, friend. I love this energy. Today, I will love without condition. My energy and enthusiasm are an inspiration. I choose to be happy. I am a protector and a friend. And if you guys watch my readings all the time, you know that dog spirit, the totem cards that I read with the spirit animal cards, is always Cancerian energy. Because it's almost like we're like the dogs of the zodiac. We'll do anything for you. We'll love you unconditionally, even when you beat us and abuse us. It's horrible. It's terrible, but it's kind of how we are. But this is that rational, that strength, the strength that is in that mode of, guess what? It's not just you. You're going to get somebody in your life that's like that back to you, right? The give and the take. I will love without condition. But remember, loving is not just giving. It's receiving too. My energy and enthusiasm are an inspiration. How are you inspiring people? Through your focus, through your divine purpose. I choose to be happy. And when you're focused and your energy is all in harmony, you're going to be happy. I am a protector and a friend. So you're going closer and closer to, listen, our higher purpose, Cancerians, is to protect, is to care for, is to nurture, is to help other people. So keep in alignment with that. Even if it's literal, like whatever chance you have to do charity, whatever chance you have to think about other people, whatever kind of message you could spread that will help others. It's not just about you. It's about how your gifts can help your community or help your family. Stay in that vibe. Stay in that purpose. I'm telling you, Cancerians, just stay there, because you're about to run smack dab into your divine counterpart. You run into your divine counterpart when you are in line with your divine purpose. If you are not in line with your divine purpose, there's no way you're anywhere near them. But these cards are all coming out suggesting that you are ready and you are in alignment with your divine purpose. So just keep going. Just keep going, because you're there. Cancer. We move now on to Leo. 132:56. Leo. Okay. Leo energy. Nothing will come of this situation void of course. This is really easy energy, actually, then. Because in other words, Leo, it's going to be really easy for you to see what's no good. What it's like going to be easy. Very obvious. This isn't working. Gotta let it go. What isn't working in your life? Lose the stubbornness and don't try to make it work. Like accept it as a failure if you have to, but it's not really a failure, is it? No, it's just discernment of what works and what doesn't, what needs to go and needs to stay. If you've been butting your head against a wall and all you're getting is concussions, stop, let it go. This means it's going to be very clear for you what's working and what's not. Or it's probably already clear. It's probably already clear where you have been throwing away your energy. Don't throw it away anymore. Allow it to just go. Let it be. Poof, poof, let it go. It's going to be almost too easy for you guys. Not too easy. No, not too. I don't want to say that. It's going to be easy. Accept the blessing when it comes, because it's going to be very easy for you to see what you need to let go of. This Virgo full moon, the deciphering is not going to be challenging for you. You probably already know what you need to let go of. You know, you're primed for this full moon energy because you're like, no, I know it's got to go. I've accepted it. I'm not even getting in the way of it going out the door, because I don't even want it anymore. It's like you've already let go. You've already released. Good on you, Leo. Good on you. Mira, who or what is triggering you? This is exceptional energy. Look at this. Who or what is triggering you? It's a good question. Look in the mirror, look at yourself. Are you triggering yourself? Or just getting real with the situation and the circumstance? Something becoming very, very clear, crystal clear, almost like looking in a mirror. What is it about you that hasn't been working? Or your behaviors or your patterns or the things that you've been choosing that isn't serving you, that isn't helping you? There's one thing to be confident, there's another thing to be cocky. Let go of anything that really isn't, let go of any aspects of yourself that are hindering you and hindering your progress. But I want to read the card a little bit deeper. Who or what is triggering you? That's who needs to be released. But also, not only do they need to be released, like somebody that's in particularly, or something that's particularly frustrating you, the frustration, it's a hopeless cause, let it go. But also, what can you learn from it? What can you learn from that hopeless cause? What can you learn from, why did you even try so long to make it work? Or what can you learn by the frustration of why it bothers you so much? What about it bothers you so much? That's like that deeper understanding, so you can sift through those things on a deeper level and sift through those emotional aspects. That's what it's asking you to do, really, is not just release and let go of those 3D aspects of what you need to let go of, Leo, but emotionally, what do you need to let go of? What's triggering you? Emotionally, what is making you feel bad? Emotionally, what is making you feel worried or paranoid? All of those emotions that get in your way and hinder your progress, what's making you feel those things? It's going to be very, very obvious. Let them go. It may actually be all the same thing. Your trigger could be something in particular. Leo, this is the time to purge it, because it's not going anywhere. It's almost universe assuring you that, guess what? You're not wrong about this. It's not going to go anywhere. You can't make anything of the situation. Believe those triggers. And that's how you're going to be able to identify what needs to go, is what's triggering you. Is it caffeine? Is it a girlfriend? Is it an ex? Is it the way you make money? What's triggering your sense of maybe paranoia, sadness, depression? What triggers all of those things? Whatever those triggers are needs to be just, that's the thing. Cut it out. Don't even ask any questions. Awakening. A lot of people are going through this. Broadening and expanding the mind, connecting with that higher self, but also shedding all of that extra skin that's weighing them down to be able to associate with their higher purpose. If you have felt uncomfortable, if you have felt even like physically ill, this is a sense that you are going through an expansion. You are literally pushing on the egg. Like, now you feel cramped. You're pushing against the cocoon. Why? Because you're about to be born. And it's a painful process to be born. It's a traumatic process to be born. And that's what all the pains and pangs, and why all the triggers are showing you what you need to release, because you don't want to take into your new life. You are ascending, Leo. So you're changing. And so things have to be shed. You got to leave the cocoon behind. You got to break through it and just let yourself expand and go. And don't feel bad, is I think what I'm really saying to you. Don't feel bad about what you need to leave behind. Because if it's not expanding with you, then it was never meant to be a part of your life. So don't worry about it, and don't take it as a hit to your pride. Don't. That's the one caveat. Don't take it as a hit to your pride. Don't take it as a failure. Take it as not meant to be, and just let it go. Peacock. Wow. This speaks wonders for you guys. Vibrancy. You were born to shine and inspire. Practice humility to avoid jealousy. Be grateful for life, and more good things will come. Be true to yourself and recognize your brilliance. So, this is why it's so important for you guys, because you were born to shine, and you do shine, and you do have peacock aspects to your nature that are almost written into your character type. But peacock is not just a shower, right? He's a grower. No, seriously. Peacock doesn't spread its brilliant tail for no reason. He spreads it for protection. And he also spreads it for mating. He spreads it for purpose. So in other words, don't give your shine to everyone. Only certain people are worthy of it. Share your shine in the right places. Let your light out. Don't exhaust it. Don't do it to get attention from anyone. You don't want attention from anyone. This is about being more discerning about where you let your shine. Now, peacocks are also very, very faithful. They have committed relationships with one another. And the peahen is much plainer and much more subdued. So this is like qualify the people in your life, qualify the choices in your life, qualify who you share your shine with. There's a little bit of an indication that you've been sharing your shine with too many people, and that's been exhausting you and burning you out. You're going to stop doing that, because now you're going to see what is void of course, what you're not getting anything back from. And it's not just about receive. It's not about payment. It's not about payment. It's about purpose. That's what it's about. You have a natural brilliance to you. Have you been wasting it on pop culture? Have you been wasting it on just getting attention? You know, don't waste it on just getting attention. What can you do by getting attention? What can you do for others by getting attention? How can you use yourself to help make the world a brighter place, right? This is really going to be very, very obvious to you. That's what I'm saying. There's a sense of, because remember, peacock energy is also very related to the phoenix. So it's about transcending oneself and allowing yourself to burn down and to start new. And this is the time for you to burn down and start new. This is the time when you rise from the ashes that you basically burned yourself into. That's the sense. You burned yourself out, but now you're rising again and you're learning how to use your shine a lot better. What's important and what's not is going to be a lot easier for you to discern from now on. But I also feel like there's a sense of higher purpose for you as well. A sense of alignment to concerns for others and not just for attention, or using the attention that you get to help move along your family, your friends, a concept, or even your community at large. There's a change here. There's a total transcendence and awakening. And you're like, yeah, I have to say, it's almost going to be, you're probably going to have it the easiest to be able to discern what you can't take with you and what doesn't make sense for you anymore. Because you have in the past done things that are absolutely purposeless. The only purpose was to shine and to get people's attention. That's BS. It doesn't even serve you anymore, Leo. And I feel like you're just so ready to let it go. We don't even have to talk about this. Virgo energy, 143:51. Okay. Virgo, this is your full moon. So happy full moon in Virgo. Try not to be so harsh on a judge or criticize yourself. and definitely try to like loosen up those expectations that you have on yourself all the time. Loosen them up. Loosen them up and connect with spirit and try to go with the flow a little bit more, because a lot of those expectations that you put on yourself were actually put in your head by somebody else, by somebody like a family connection, how you were raised, what you experienced, trauma that you went through, holding on to those things that don't serve you anymore. It's like you learned to protect yourself by using them. I just got 4444. Protection, a sense of needing to be protected. But do they really protect you anymore, or now are they hindering you? Ask yourself that honest question. That's something that you have to sift through, Virgo. A fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries. There's confrontation here, and it's a confrontation of self, because Aries is that energy of self. So this could also be this sort of like, there is a conjunction, I think. There's like an opposition. You're way over here, like the moon in Virgo is way over here, but then you have, like if you look at the chart, I just have to see. What's going on? Oh, I lost my, oh no, I didn't lose my computer. Hold on. Yeah, it's like there's an opposition here. It's like you're, the moon is in Virgo. No. The moon is in Virgo, but the sun is in Pisces, and there's an opposition there. There's a clash. There's a clash between the sun and the moon in the sky. Isn't that interesting? Between our two aspects of ourselves, between emotionally what we want, between what our ego wants and what makes us feel emotionally fulfilled and safe. A huge clash that's going on, and that's going to have to be rectified. A fiery climax, that's your climax. That's your opposition right there. You know, it's like, it's just like punching against each other. This is the moon time. This is the full moon time. At least right now, this is the full moon time. So look and honor your emotions, and honor what you need emotionally to feel safe. But also look and see, does it align? Does what's making you feel safe really align with what you want to achieve and accomplish in life? Because if the answer is no, then something has to change and something has to give. And that's your discernment there. That's your marker of what needs to go and what needs to stay. Emotionally, what do I need to let go of? What crutches do I need to let go of? What things that do I lean on to make me feel emotionally secure that are actually behaving as hindrances and holding me back? That's about to clash right now. Why? Because it's almost like the sun is going to sort of ignite your possibilities and your hopes and your dreams. And then that's going to clash with, but do I feel safe going after them? And you're going to have to make choices. And I think those choices should really be about helping to resolve what's making you feel unsafe, and making you realize, well, what made you feel unsafe with that aspect to begin with? Was it your own experience, or was something that somebody else put in your head? Was it sort of inherited from your childhood and what you learned in childhood? And does it even serve you anymore? Because if it's clashing with your ability to move forward and your ability to really accomplish great things or fulfill your dreams, then it's not serving you, is it? It's hindering you, and you want to let go of anything that's hindering you. Any emotional crutches that hinder you and keep you from living up to your full potential. So there's that divine clash, and it's going to come out, but that's okay. It's that clash that's going to make you realize what you absolutely have to discharge and let go of and get out of your life. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So this is the universe asking you, Virgo, are you in alignment with your own dreams? Are you in alignment with your own purpose? If you didn't have those fears inside of you that were probably put inside of your head by somebody else, or learned years ago and they don't even apply now, but you're holding on to them. But if you knew that you couldn't fail, what would you do? If you knew that you were safe, would you do this? Okay, then clearly it's important to you. So you need to have faith in it. And it doesn't mean just basically trying to, like I said, leap over those fears, because you're going to like rip your crotch on the fence. It's going to hurt. Don't. Look at, why is that fence there? Is it even as strong as I think it is? Or can I just, like, if I kick it, will it fall down? Has it just stayed up because I haven't even tested it in all this time? Am I giving it more strength than it deserves? Because those fences seem to be so decrepit and so old, they want to come down. And that's why it's a time to reassess the boundaries that you have lived in this whole time. Do they still stand? Do they still hold up on their own? Or are they just remnants? Okay. Are they just antiquated remnants that are holding you? It's like, what is that energy? It's like a line drawn in the sand that you made into the Berlin Wall. And like, oh, I can't go over that line in the sand. You can blow it away. It's not even a real boundary. This is the time to go back and reassess the boundaries that you've gotten emotionally comfortable living in. Because there's a message here that it's restricting you. It's restricting you from your divine purpose. And now's the time to go back and test to see if those boundaries you even need them as much as you think you do. Because I'm going to tell you, overwhelmingly, you're going to find out that you don't kisses. Overwhelmingly, you're going to find out that you don't need them anymore. And that's why you need to go back and retest them. I love you. Enlightenment. This is about, you see, this circle, this divine circle, it's about expanding and broadening and not being confined, but letting yourself multiply. This is, your abundance wants to multiply, but it's got to multiply through you. Let it grow. Let it expand. Let yourself expand beyond those boundaries. Because see, this isn't an actual boundary. This is just room for it to grow. This is just as far as it's grown right now. That's not a boundary. It's just where it's at right now. You add more loops to it, you can expand it more. You can broaden it. This is not a boundary. This is just a demarcation. This is just like, in other words, when you were a kid and you used to stand up against the wall and mark those little lines to track your height and how your growth chart. It wasn't a boundary. It was just a benchmark. And if you, and this is what you need to reassess, have you been like squatting so because you thought that was a boundary that somebody was marking over your head? You was squatting because you don't want to like go beyond it. Stand up. Grow to your full height. It was never meant to be a boundary. It was just meant to be a benchmark to determine how far you'd come and show you how much further you can go. There are boundaries that you've accepted as boundaries that were never actually meant to be boundaries, Virgo. And that's the ones that you have to just, lines in the sand that you need to blow over. Just let them go. Because they were never meant to confine you. They were just meant to help guide you and instruct you, help connect you to the present moment. But they were never meant to be where you stayed. You stayed for what emotional reasons did you stay? Why did you turn them into boundaries when they were never boundaries? It had to be with emotional responses. So that's what you really need to dig into, to honor those emotions and let them go, because they're really what's confining you, not the actual benchmarks or lines, because those are easy to expand beyond. Moose, wisdom. And this is a great card too. Let your head and mind reach to the stars, yet keep your feet grounded on the earth. Listen to the ancient wisdom in your soul. The ancestors speak through you you know much. See, anytime I get a card like this is antenna, like receiving messages. So it's almost like what messages have you inherited? Like what customs do you keep up because you've inherited them? Your ancestors never meant those as restrictions. They always meant them as benchmarks. They always meant them as check-ins, guidelines, right? Your wisdom, where you stand right now, should help you look back and see that and realize it. And let your antlers grow. Let them expand. You can carry this. You can do it. This is a time for expansion. Yes, like think of a tree. A tree is one of the most grounded things on our planet because it's got these deep roots, but it keeps growing higher, and it grows higher because of the roots. So let those benchmarks be your roots that help you expand and have emotional security in them. Like, oh, remember when I was here and look how far I've come? It's like that's a root now. And your growth line down here, it was a root. It's something that you can link yourself to, a link to the past, to develop sort of an emotional security that you need while you realize, look, I still have that. And now, and I still have that, and that's why I can grow beyond it. Because that height is almost incorporated into who I am now. I don't leave it behind, it just becomes a part of me. It's that connectivity to your past that is rooting you for the future that you're growing into. And that should help release you from any emotional fears or help you release emotions or emotional attachments that are not serving you and that are actually, like I said, counterproductive. Okay, here we go, Libra. Libra, we are at 156.24. Excellent. Libra. Ooh, okay. Libra. Let's see what is in store for you on this full moon in Virgo. Don't let your past hold you back, South Node. Okay. Libra. What do you feel obligated to? Usually it's emotional, right? Usually it's a connection. Your South Node is your safe place, but it's also your pitfall. It's something that's so easy for you. So what's really so easy? I mean, anytime I get this card, I say, hey, everybody, check your South Node. So any Libra watching, check your South Node. Where is your South Node? Where are your pitfalls? What is too easy for you? Hi, Leslie. What is too easy for you? What has become that safe haven that is actually become your gilded cage? Like, what is your pitfall? Now, stereotypically, Libra pitfalls are just not making decisions, letting everybody else make decisions, and like sort of succumbing to whatever anybody else wants who is important to them, right? No. That's a pitfall that you have to escape. What is your purpose? What is your plan? What is your intent? What is important to you? You are capable of making wonderful decisions and having great inspiration and focus. So that's where you need to look to now. That's what you need to have faith in now. But definitely check your South Node. Don't let your past hold you back. What is your past? There's some sort of, like we're talking about sifting through the grain and the chaff, right? That's what we're sifting through. What's garbage and what's not. The past is garbage. Or aspects of the past are garbage. You don't need them anymore. And for some reason, you've held on to them. Emotionally, you've held on to them. So on this Virgo moon, Libra, you're being asked to let go of those emotions that you've held on to, that in other words, those emotional connections with people that are no longer in your life anymore, that are no longer kisses. Stop. She's bored, so she starts to chew on everything. In other words, they're no longer, in other words, these people don't belong in your life anymore. but somehow you've maintained this connection with them because, hey, that's how it always was, or because once upon a time they were important to me, so they have to always be important to me. No. This is a sense of let those connections go. Let those emotional obligations to people, places, objects, or work, jobs, let it go. You don't need to stay there forever. And you'll know right away what's serving you and what's not. Because you already know, like as soon as I mentioned it, I know you already knew. There's just something that you have to say goodbye to. You've outgrown it. You're not, I know you always want to be that fair person. You always want everybody to like you. But it's not about that. It's about being free, and it's about living your best self and your higher purpose. You can't achieve that if you're holding on to who you used to be, or you're still trying to stick yourself into emotional obligations that you're not even really sincerely interested in anymore. So Virgo, this is your time and this is your permission to cut old ties to people that you're not really connected to. The connection is already gone. It's like it's a ghost. It's something from your past. Honor the past by letting it stay there, by letting it be over, and not, like I say all the time, don't be Norman Bates trying to rock that corpse in the rocking chair. When it's over, it's over. Bury it and let it go. You honor the past by relinquishing it, by letting it be beautiful in where it was, instead of rotting because you're still holding on to it. No, let it go and let it remain beautiful in memory. So there is that sense of honoring it and really treasuring it and doing what's right for it by letting it be done. Leap. Oh my God. And this is full moon energy too. You go first. The universe will catch you. Full moon. This is the time to just leap into something new and to broaden and expand yourself and open your wings and fly. Libra, you have the energy. You do not have, you have to relinquish past obligations. You have to relinquish past expectations of yourself. You have to literally, it's time. You don't get this card for no reason. Leap. Take the leap of faith. Because it's time. Even if you don't think you're ready for it, or even if you think, I don't know, there's a million different things that you could be thinking right now to make excuses to not. You only need to make one decision, and that is to do it. To just go. It's time. The timing is perfect to let go of what was and leap into what will be. And you don't have to know what will be right now. You just have to trust the universe to grow your wings and carry you where you belong. And it's almost like you're sort of relinquishing a sense of control and saying, I don't really know what the next step is. I'm just going to leap. Universe, you carry me. You're not going to get this card if the universe would let you fall. You're not going to fall. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fall? If you knew you couldn't fail? Take that leap of faith. Let your light shine. We got this card. I feel like we got this card earlier, but that's impossible. Oh, I got this card in the daily. Libra, you might want to go watch the daily reading. It's on YouTube today. It's usually on Instagram. Monday through Thursday, it's going to stay on Instagram because I can't show a daily on YouTube. But on Fridays, I'll do the daily on YouTube. Watch the daily today. Please go back and watch it because this card came up in the daily, and now it's coming up in your reading. Let your light shine. This is you being true to you and trusting that you have the right to do that. Trusting that you're not a bad person, but in fact, finding a way to love yourself, being yourself out loud, allowing yourself to be important, allowing yourself to be all that you are, instead of worrying about, but is this right for other people? Because thinking about, is this right for other people, is not helping you be in alignment with your divine purpose. So this is about allowing yourself to be yourself out loud. allowing yourself to be everything that you are, not based on your expectations for others, but based on who are you really, Libra? Do you even know? Do you need to reconnect to that real person and let go of that fake person that you allow to take over you to fit in and get other people's approval? Maybe the leap of faith you need to take is in yourself. Tiger, fire. I choose to be unstoppable. My passion is my power. I am bold. I am brave. Mighty forces come to my aid. Leap, because you're going to be supported. You're going to have that fire fueling you. In fact, if you want to really think about it, your passion should be your new relationship. Your passion should be what you commit yourself to and what you're concerned with, what you're getting the approval of, right? It's what you should be in the relationship with. Why? Because your passion is your divine purpose. And in fulfilling that, you're really fulfilling why you were put on this planet. You're fulfilling your highest obligation. Libra, this is a really spiritual reading, but 2 cards are here to say you're supported, you're protected. You can do this. There is no reason to fear. And if you say, fear is what you're going to have to relinquish. Like, if you say that there is, you're making it up. That's your fear and you holding on to the past. You're not wanting to let go of the past because universe is saying, we've got you. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? That's what you need to get on, Libra. So this has a much more practical applications for you than it does emotional applications. It's just almost taking responsibility for the emotions that you still allow to be around when those emotions wanted to die out years ago. Why do you even still have them here? This is more practical application of get going. This full moon, what you need to relinquish is the BS that you've been like literally almost like putting on yourself to weigh yourself down. You're air, Libra. You're supposed to be light. Let yourself be light. It's almost like the fire is here to return you to the air, to return you back to being able. Air doesn't have to worry about falling, does it? When it takes a leap off a cliff, it doesn't land on rock. Get back to what you were born to, which is to fly. You're air. That's what you're meant to do. You're not, when you leap, you're not going to fall. It's what you were designed as, not what you were obligated to, not what you thought you were in the past, or the emotional ties that you've literally tied yourself down. You've literally weighted yourself down as if you think that that somehow in some way makes you valuable, or that you gain some sort of value by being heavier or being not who you really are. Be who you really are. Be air. Just let the past go. It needs to be gone. It's a pitfall right now. Those emotional ties, those connections, those relationships that you've had with people that you don't even like anymore, they've got to get out of your life. You've got to cut those ties. It's time to move on. It's time to move forward. And it's time to be more authentically you. You can fly. Get to it. All right, Libra. Blessings for the full moon. Thank you so much, everybody, for spending this time with me. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad and I'm so grateful, especially for the donations that I got today. Really exceptional energy. My puppy's looking at me with crossed legs. I know it's about that time. So I've got to cut this short, but I just want to say major thanks. This is going to be on to replay before I take my puppy out, before I take Kisses out. I'm going to get those timestamps up, so have no fear. Hey, Jackie, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thanks, Jackie. Yeah, hit the like button. Share this video. Share on different social media profiles. That really helps the channel grow and really helps it be exposed to new people. I'm always really grateful for that. And if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. Much thanks, much gratitude. Happy, happy, and beautiful full moon for you. And I'll see you in the Romantic Tarot. That will be up on Sunday. Bye, guys.